Eevee and its Eeveelutions have been a staple in the Pokemon community for almost 30 years now. And honestly, if a Pokemon fan doesn't have a favorite Eeveelution, that is an immediate red flag. But I mean also, on the flip side, depending on how much you love your favorite Eeveelution, that could also be a red flag. However, even though the last Eeveelution we got was over 10 years ago, I have a strong feeling a new Eeveelution is going to be unveiled very soon. So today, let's look at all the signs that are leading me to this conclusion. To start off, let's talk about the lost Eeveelution. In the beginning, Pokemon was really good at creating Eeveelutions. The first game had 3, the second generation already had 2 more. And although they did take a break in Generation 3, Generation 4 saw 2 new Eeveelutions, Leafeon and Glaceon. But after that, things started to slow down because in Generation 5 there were no new Eeveelutions, but only 1 in Generation 6. At first, people did have some concerns that we only saw 1, but considering that the new Eeveelution was Sylveon to represent the new fairy type, people just boiled it down to Pokemon not wanting to distract anyone from the new shiny thing. But then ever since Pokemon X and Y, we've never seen a new Eeveelution. But as some of you might already know, Game Freak got hit by a terror leak in late 2024. But apparently within this leaked data, people found evidence pointing towards a new Eeveelution that was set to be released for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Apparently it was scrapped very late into the development cycle due to the developers finding a piece of fan art of a new theoretical Eeveelution that looked incredibly similar to the one they were actually developing. So, what was this scrapped Eeveelution? Well, unfortunately I'm trying to build a story here, and the scrapped Eeveelution's type is actually a piece of evidence that I'm going to use in the next section, so just hold on 1 minute. But let's not have you waiting too long and let's look at the evidence now. Currently, the Pokemon Company is running a huge campaign throughout the year 2025, and this year they're calling it the Year of the Eevee. Ironic, eh? And to celebrate the Year of the Eevee, they're doing a lot of Eevee-themed things, like if you look at the Pokemon trading card game, they just released a whole new set themed around Eevee called Prismatic Evolution, or maybe they should call it Traumatic Evolution, considering the scalping situation and nobody can get their hands on it. Also, with Pokemon Day literally just around the corner, they released this piece of key art featuring Eevee, Espeon, and Umbreon flying in a hot air balloon. If you look at the colors of the stripes of the balloon itself, you'll notice something interesting. As pointed out on the Hidden Power podcast, each stripe kind of represents the colors of the Eeveelutions that currently exist, all but the exception of one stripe. This could easily represent Eevee itself, however I feel like that's really unlikely considering that Eevee is brown and beige. So based off of this silvery white stripe, what type of Eeveelution could it theoretically be? Potentially this could mean a new steel type Eevee, considering first off we don't have one. However, I don't feel like that's quite the match. What people are currently speculating, however, is that this could mean a new flying type Eevee could be in the works. I mean, first off, it just fits the theme of the picture as well, considering they're flying in their hot air balloon. And actually, there's even more evidence pointing towards it being the case, because remember that last Eeveelution that got scrapped? Well, allegedly, the scrapped Eeveelution was a flying type, meaning Pokemon has been thinking about a flying type Eeveelution for quite some time now. And before you say, well, it's just a fluke that they're using those colors for that balloon, Pokemon started a countdown towards Pokemon Day, and if you look at the background of the post, they're actually using the exact same color of stripes, including that silvery one. But before we move forward, I have a short message. If this is your first time here, hey, my name's Acadrien, and I post weekly Nintendo videos just like this. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, I would greatly appreciate it if you would simply consider to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's go right back into the video. I'll be honest, my last point is kind of weird, because this piece of information could just as easily be crucial to a new Eeveelution as it could be useless. And that is Pokémon Legends Z-A. If you look back to Pokémon Legends Arceus, that game introduced a whole new set of Pokémon. Of course, there were regional variants, for instance like Hisuian Braviary or Hisuian Zoroark. But a new Eeveelution isn't just going to be a regional variance, it's going to be a whole new Pokemon. But yet again in Pokémon Legends Arceus, we did see new Pokemon, for instance Enamorus, as well as new evolutions for previous Pokemon that we already knew about. The first one that comes to mind is Ursaluna that evolves from Ursaring. So considering that the last Pokémon Legends game already came out with so many new Pokemon, I kind of have no reason to believe it wouldn't be the case with Pokémon Legends Z-A. And to wrap everything up, I have one more theory. As previously mentioned, the last Eeveelution we got was Sylveon in the Kalos region. And where does Pokémon Legends Z-A take place? That's right, the Kalos region. And then considering that every time they made new Eeveelutions they came out in pairs, now would be the perfect time to finally give Sylveon its pair. But now's the time I turn the video back to you. What do you think? Do you think we're going to be getting a new Eeveelution? Let me know down in the comments. I would once again like to thank you for watching the video all the way to the end, and if you did enjoy this video, why not check out another one? For whatever reason, YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this one, so try checking out that one next. And until next time, Wadao.